Because they were going to. So we're going to pass that. Well, good afternoon. You guys made it to the final session. I appreciate you being here. My name is Christy Howard, and I am obsessed with Velata. So how many, I just need to see kind of who I can pick on. So how many people here are signed up for Velata? Awesome. Well, excellent. A little bit about me. I started with Sensi. It'll be 4 years next month. And I was very adamant that I was not going to sell Sensi. I just wanted the free stuff. And to this day, I've never done a Sensi ham party. So I stayed true to my word. No, I'm just kidding. I do sell Sensi, but I've never done a ham party because they terrify me. But I absolutely love doing Velata tastings because the word tastings is a lot less intimidating than the word party to me and to a lot of hosts. Big Costco weekends, you know, how much stuff do you go home and try and buy because you talked to those nice little people in Costco? Well, you get for pretty much, we know. So when they launched Velata at leadership, in Mexico, I honestly thought it was a joke. I thought they were kidding with us, and I was waiting for, you know, Johnny Knoxville to come out and, you know, country was going to be pumped or something, and then I tasted it, and of course it was fabulous, and that truly sparked my fire. That's where my passion came. I mean, I love Sensi, I love the products, I use all the products, but Velata is my way of life. That's just my brand. Today we're going to go over a couple things. I'm going to kind of give you some hints and tips on how to use some of the products, because what I've learned over the last couple of years is we sold it to you as a fondue, it sits in your cabinet, just like, you know, we were afraid. But there's so much more to that. And then hopefully I'm going to give you guys some practical business stuff. If you don't get anything out of this, I'm sorry you just slept for 45 minutes. But hopefully you will. And at the end, I've got some samples up here. So if you sit through the entire thing and you make it, you will be rewarded. If not, too bad. If not, we're going for cocktails and gypsies after this, and we'll make it up there. I have, and I'll tell you, I spoke at a convention in front of 12,000 in Vegas on Velata. I spoke at leadership to all directors, and I'll tell you today I'm probably a little bit the most nervous because I have team members in here, and they're all staring at me. So I'm like, oh God, Maggie, paybacks, I sat through her. So, and I don't have Carol and Bishop House to make fun of, so that's like, it's kind of like, oh, so I'm gonna have to, now Maggie's here, I can redirect. But anyway, let's get jumping in and talk about chocolate. And we are going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. And I'm sorry, little Mr. Videotape, because if I upset a few people by saying some of the things I have, get over it. But because I am going to tell you a few things that I personally believe corporate would love to tell you, but can't, politically correct, can't tell you these things. But I'm going to tell you because I don't work for corporate. But I love them. And I love our brand manager, Kevin Kirkpatrick. Oh, I got more team members. God, you guys are killing me. I'm a little shy. So, I have a big team. Anyway, chocolate. Everybody, you know, we microwave it, we use it as a fondue. Some people hate microwaves, some people think you can only do it in the warmer. The proper way to melt your chocolate is whatever works for you. Okay? It's not worth getting into a huge debate. It's not worth wasting the time. It's whatever works. I have melted chocolate on the dash of my car when needed. And there's many afternoons that that's needed. They won't let you drink and drive, but you can chocolate and drive. So there's definitely in Texas, let me tell you guys, it takes about 15 minutes on the dash. You know, you go to the grocery store, you pop it in, you come back. And just from, I've heard, I've never ever tested this ever in my life, but I've heard a straw fits perfectly through that hole. So, but I couldn't tell you for sure, so don't quote me on that. You're all going to try it, you know you will. But my chocolate, I do so much more with this than just dip. I drizzle over fresh fruit. I drizzle over cakes. People think that I'm a phenomenal baker. I also own a dog bakery, so If you come to my house, I promise I won't feed you dog food. But I drizzle over these cakes. And people think I'm an amazing baker. I'm not. I'm totally an amazing cheater. I get a bun cake, I drizzle 3 or 4 different flavors of Velata over it, and I pour a can of cherries in the middle of it. It's gorgeous. And it takes about 5 minutes. If you invite me over to your house and I'm supposed to bring something, I always bring that because it's easy and cheap. So that's one thing you can do when you do your tastings. I'm going to talk about bringing something. This is what, that's a really easy recipe. I drizzle this over ice cream. I drizzle this over fresh fruit. I dip it with fresh fruit, hot chocolate, coffee, anything you can think of. Don't limit yourself to the fondue. Yeah, it says fun fondue on that. That is a serving suggestion. So we are so much more. Let's get to the ugliness of our cheese. Let's just get it out there. If I sell this to you as fondue and you take this home and you heat it up, are you ever going to buy it from me again? No. Yeah, no, you're not. Because guess what? We don't have a really perfect cheese fondue for what people think fondue is. Even when you go to the melting pot, they add something to their cheese to make it dippable. So we need to add something to our cheese to make it dippable. And that can be any kind of liquid, water, milk, beer, wine. Just saying. Don't judge. I see you. You're laughing because you know he's tried it. Or he's going to. And we had a girl in the last session that is a lot braver than I am. She has jalapeno juice. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm dying right now just thinking. But we need to add something to this. Now, it says he has taken consideration to what we did. And our manufacturer, this is within the guidelines for fondue, but our manufacturer, he has parameters that he needs to work within, and they're within that. So to help us out as consultants, we've rebranded this in the new catalog, and starting going forward after we deplete the stock, this will be called cheese dip. So right off the bat, we're changing the name to cheese dip because that's a little bit more realistic. Same thing, you still are going to need to, it will be a little bit creamier, but you will need to probably add something if you want to use it as an actual dip. And it's not that difficult. Don't make it so drama. Oh, I get online and I just want to cry. I just look at these people and think, God, you're wasting so much of your life worrying about small stuff like this. I know you know what I'm talking about on Facebook. Oh, God, that's a drain. Okay, so to make this dippable, put this in a bowl, add some liquid to it, add a little bit at a time, whip it up, use a little elbow grease, it's not going to kill you. And when it gets to the right consistency, heat it up. Done. Okay, simple. Yes?
Add the liquid before.
I always add it before because I want it to be that consistent, the consistency. And then I mix it up. If I want a lot, if I want to drizzle it over my son's nachos, I add more water. Not that difficult. But if you go to Walmart and you buy something like this that says cheese fondue, and you take it home, just like your customers, they're going to be disappointed. And they're never going to go back down that aisle and buy it again. But what's different between us and buying this at Walmart? You are the difference. You are the consultant. Your job is to train your customers. That is what you are getting paid to do. You're not order takers. You're not checkout stand people. This is your job. This is the perfect opportunity to have a conversation with somebody. Well, they bought it online, I don't know. You know, they have this thing, I'm sure you all have them in your purse or attached. It's called a telephone. Pick it up. Call them. Hey, I know she ordered the cheese. I'd love to give you some tips. I don't have time right now. Okay, great. Do you mind if I just email them over to you? I think you'll really enjoy using our product this way. Email it to them. Communicate. Don't use that as a sales call. Use that as an educational call. That is your job, to educate our customers how to use our products to the fullest potential. And I was with Carol and Dwayne, and they were house hunting, and I couldn't tell you how many houses I went into, and God bless these people tried to sell their homes. They thought they were doing the right thing, and they filled their Sunset to the rim, because it smells so much better when you fill it to the rim, not. So I walked through these homes, and I saw, these Sunset warmers that were full to the rim. And the first thing I thought of was, not even educating them. They're just letting them, waste their money. It's not working any better. And they're missing out on an opportunity to build that relationship. Velata is a huge relationship opportunity with your customers. It's a really, really easy thing to do to communicate with your customers with Velata. One of my favorite things with smoked Gouda is I honestly, maybe 2-3 times a year, I use the cheese as a fondue. But I probably use Velata 5-6 times a month. I take my smoked Gouda, I cook some pasta, I pop a tub of this in there with some fresh broccoli and some cut up chicken, cooked chicken, mix it all together, and I have dinner. Simple. I have customers now that keep 4 or 5 of these on hand, and they've turned this into a staple item. That's what you want to do with our consumables. You want to make sure that they are a staple item in your customers' cupboards. And if you're training them right and you're showing them how to use the product, it's an easy thing for them to do. And they're going to start thinking of ways out of the box rather than, oh, I'm not going to fondue that much. Oh, I'm not going to entertain that much. You want to get them out of that frame of mind. You want to get them out of thinking it's a special occasion. This is an everyday thing. When we talk about the raclette, I'll talk about it a little bit more. Our cheese is probably not the best cheese for the raclette. Okay, it's not the best cheese for our raclette. So don't sell this to people thinking, oh yeah, you can use it in our raclette. It's really a little bit more challenging than that. You can add it to things, but you can't just pop the glob in and think that it's going to melt, because it's not. So just being honest. So our cheese is there. Now this makes me really, really sad. But our mixables. How many of you know, everybody know they're going away? So we have less than 2 weeks to get mixables. And honestly, there's so much, once again on that fabulous Facebook, I can't believe you're taking away mixables out there, man, they hate us. No, they don't hate you, you guys just didn't buy a lot of it. So we just didn't sell enough for the manufacturer to make it to warrant it as a product in our catalog, and the manufacturer couldn't manufacture it in small enough quantities for us and keep it cost effective. So they're going away. That doesn't mean that when the brand grows that it doesn't come back later, because it's a fabulous product. But if you have customers out there that want the mixables, the next 2 weeks are going to be a great opportunity for you to call your customers and say, hey, I noticed that you sold, you like your mixables. And one of the things I've always talked about is Stacy, I've always used her, and my mocha recipe that I shared. Stacy's my mocha recipe girl. So, Stacy's probably, look at the tears coming out of her eyes. Because now she has to listen to her mom. So Stacy's mom is obsessed with the Velata mocha. And the way she uses this is she gets ice cube trays, she fills it with coffee, she freezes it, she blends it with some milk and some mocha mixable. And guess what? Starbucks just lost $4. So, get stock up now, and let's keep this brand growing so we can bring this back. So we're not going to spend a lot of the time talking about the wonderful things. Our rubs. Who's tried our rubs? Favorite flavor? You did one the other night that was phenomenal.
I did pork loin.
The pork loin, oh man, I'm still hungry from that. She posted pictures of that, and I was just like, oh. So our rubs. How many sell Sensi? Okay. How many of you do wax samples with Sensi? Raise your hand. So everybody do samples when you do wax samples? Keep your hands up. I just like looking at them. So how many of you with your hands up, keep your hands up if you make rub samples? Really? I like you. So rub samples. If you're selling Sensi and you're making wax samples, and you're selling Velata, you better start making rub samples. Because how do you get people to smell our wax? Samples. How do you get them excited? Samples. Our rub samples are a lot easier to make than wax samples. A lot. Let me tell you. I did 1,100 of these the other day in about an hour and a half. I printed up a label. These are wax bags that I use. Got them, I shut up these online, but you can get them, at Michael's. And it's a half a teaspoon of rub. You're not feeding a family, you want them just to smell. Just like you're giving a sample, you're not trying to do it in your warmer, you're not giving them a whole amount. It's a sample. I used a container, these are the actual containers that I used, and I used one full container and then whatever else was in here, and I made, I made all 1,100 out of 4 jars. And so this goes a long, long way for making samples. So for $10, you can have a couple hundred samples. And people will smell these, and you guys, I made you samples. So make sure you take one when you leave today. Smell them, because this is a product that looking at the labels and reading them are great, but if you smell it, you want it. You really do. And the Santa Maria barbecue, I mean, it smelled nothing like I expected it to. It's amazing. Yes, Christy?
So what do you say when you give them a sample?
Here's a sample. So when I have samples, and I'll tell you, this is, we're gonna segue into this, and then I'll come back because that's a good question. So this is my business card for Velata. This is a recipe card, and this is my business card for Velata. I do a recipe club, and I do a recipe of the month using one of our products, and I mail this out to my customers. But I also use this as a business card. So when I pass it out, here's a recipe. And you would probably use a recipe card that has what sample you're giving out. You don't want to do like an ice cream dish with like smoked paprika. You can, and you can just say also try our rubs, so just make sure there's a segue so they don't think that you're doing smoked paprika ice cream, because that's just gross. It's just wrong. But, so here's a sample of one of our fabulous artesian rubs. I'd love for you to smell it and taste it, And yeah, you're not making a whole meal out of this, but you want them just to kind of get this. But yeah, just like a Sunset sample, I leave these. And so that is the rubs. I use the rubs in dips. I use them on chicken, pork, vegetables, and lemon garlic butter is awesome. Oh, it's so good. And also popcorn. So popcorn's a really, really easy thing. You microwave some popcorn, you sprinkle some rub in there. That's a great thing for your tastings, to get people to try the rubs. It's a cheap, cheap way. It goes a long way, and you can have people try all 4 flavors that way really easily. So make sure that you're doing that. So our kitchen systems, our warmers. So fondue warmer, our chocolate standard fondue warmer. We melt chocolate in there. Anything else? I mean, that's all that we're allowed to use it because it avoids the warranty, right? So the warranty will be held up. And as I love Chuck Thompson, because we went around and around, and I was like Satan herself when I suggested on Facebook that we use something besides chocolate in our warmer, and I got bashed and trashed, and I was like, okay, enjoy your 3 warmers you sell, as I just sold 50. So our manufacturer warranty will hold up as long as you're not putting something like gasoline or nail polish remover and trying to do your nails and stuff. But if you use it for a normal food product, it will, Sensi will uphold that. The fondue is a serving suggestion. My serving suggestion, because I do more than just fondue, chocolate and cheese, although you can't tell. My serving suggestions are marinara sauce for bread sticks, cheese sticks, pasta for kids, maple syrup, keep warm, dip your pancakes, waffles, French toast, sausage, bacon, you can't have bacon without maple syrup. And then also melted butter is a great one, marinara sauce, anything you need to keep warm, dips, anything you need to keep warm. Mini sausages, those little mini wieners and barbecue, smokies, thank you, that's probably a better word than wiener. But, sorry. Anything you need to keep keep warm, use your warmer form. Now, this is my other, now I have pretty much stopped using my smaller warmer because I absolutely love the party bowl. And this lid is mandatory. If you sell a party warmer, make sure you sell a lid with it. Because there's a lot of airspace, surface space on here, and it it'll dry out. Now this lid, it's pretty funny. I set it on a table, countertop. Be careful if it's got any moisture in it. It will stick to the countertop. And I pulled it out. And they will replace it, but it was embarrassing. I was like, yeah, I broke my lid. I set it on the counter. So, but I absolutely love this because it's got a larger heating surface. And this here today, my husband packed it up. He's like, oh my God, do you want me to clean this? And I was like, nope. And he just kind of looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, I want people to see this is how this has been stored on my shelf. And this is how it looks like. You get that little film on it. Wash it off and get over it. Okay? Seriously. Come on, guys. It's silicone. It's going to happen. Rinse it off and get over it. Now that means that you need to tell your customers probably a little bit nicer way than wash off and get over it. But you need to teach your customers that is a normal occurrence when dealing with a high-end silicone. So that when they haven't talked to you, they went to a tasting or they bought it at a show or a fair and you have their information and they used it and they go 3 months later and they pull it out and it's all white and kind of gooey, or not gooey, but it's white and it's got these little watermark type things on here. They're going to be like, oh my God, it totally got ripped off from that lady. Amy, I can't believe that chick. She's off to begin with, but she told me this total, I can't believe that. Now, if Amy would have taken 15 seconds and said, now you'll have some normal wear and tear with this little blue, it'll look like glue, it'll look, just rinse it off before you use it each time and you'll be fine. You know what? I'm going to pull that out and say, oh my God, Amy said it would do that. She's not a lying stack. So, that's part of educating. Same with if you sell it online, pick up the phone, email them, here's some tips, tricks. You guys are going to have happier customers if you do that. And it is a lead-in to build that relationship with them. It's that lead-in. I hate picking up the phone call after I sell a Sensi warmer or somebody, I'll be like, but Velata is so like, oh my gosh, you got your warmer, it's been a couple weeks, have you used it for anything? Tell me what you made, tell me what you're doing with it, oh my gosh. And then we usually end up talking for a few minutes and then they usually end up calling me back, oh my gosh, last night I did this and I did this. And it's like, okay, but call me, I need to know what you need. But hey, I'll take that. Because you know what, then Amy's friends are calling me and they're going, Amy has this thing and she doesn't shut up about it, I need one of those. It works. Educate your customer. Don't sell them on these calls. These are not sales calls. These are follow-up, authentic, genuine calls. You have a reason to call. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of give you a reason to call your customers. This is the party bowl underneath, and I looked it up. It's a heavy bowl. If you have not seen that in person, please come up afterwards and touch it, feel it, fondle it, make it your buddy. And it's heavy. It's $60, which is a lot of money for a bowl, but it's awesome. And I'm going to have that thing forever until I drop break it. But I'm going to have that forever. And guess what? I'm never going to pay $60 for it because I'm going to get that as one of my half-off items always. That is a great product. When you have an event or a show or a tasting, that is a great hostess gift right there. Let me tell you, $30 for that, all day long is the coolest thing. And if your microwave's big enough, you can put tortilla chips in there and heat up the whole entire thing and heat up the tortilla chips in there. My microwave's not big enough, but it's cheap. Also, just make sure you guys know the serveware, the bowls, and the plates that were really, really cute, but nobody bought them because they were $30. Those will be going away at the end of the month as well. So make sure you guys stock up on those, or you can wait till next week. I'm not going to discontinued area. Sorry. I was kidding. Go buy them now, full price. Great. So here's my next. This is my new baby. Like there's several nights that I would trade my husband in for this. No, seriously. And if any of you guys tell him that, yes. Maggie, you're done. Tell him. This is the Raclette. How many have a Raclette? Yeah, that's unimpressive. You have it at your house. Yeah, and it's awesome.
It is awesome.
So this is our new, well, not newest, most. But this is the reflect. And if you have not bought your reflect yet, I want you to come up afterwards and make sure you touch, feel, fondle when you're playing with the party bowl, this thing. It comes, Williams-Sonoma sells it for about $150, and it comes with one top. Ours comes with two. Both tops come with this. Our trays and our spatulas come with this. Originally made for cooking meats, vegetables, heating cheese underneath and bread, and then you like do this whole European thing. Yeah, Europeans are boring. So we Americans had to get out of the box, and I love seeing what everybody's doing to get out of the box for this, especially with leadership. Oh my gosh, it's been so much fun. We have some creative consultants. This is our nonstick. It gets a little bit over 300 degrees. It's lightweight and pops to them. Takes about 5 minutes to heat up, takes about 10 minutes to cool down, really simple. I do bread on here for grilled cheese. It gives you those nice little lines. It makes you look like you have a really expensive panini press. I do pancakes over here, sausage over here, I'm cooking eggs underneath in one of these trays. And there's a little false advertising in here because these are like cheese trays. These are brownie trays. Who are you kidding? Seriously? They need to remarket that catalog. Put a little brownie mix in here and bake it. This week I have been working on portion control. And oh my God, I'm so serious right now. You girls are evil. So my portion control this week has been, we have had, like the last 2 nights we've done reflect for dinner, and I only cook one cookie at a time. So I go to Central Market and they have the cranberry oatmeal cookies that are just like, oh my God, you can't just eat them. I mean, they're amazing. So I put a cookie in here and I only eat one. And then tomorrow I'll go and get another one. But if I was cooking them, I would cook like the whole thing and eat like a dozen. So it's portion control. It really is. This stone top, the granite, is heavy. And I mean, like really heavy. Wake up. And this will break a toe if you drop it. So this is a nice piece of granite. And it will season. It's porous. So this is normal. Now once again, if Amy didn't tell me that this was normal, I'm going to think that blonde chick is just lying to me again and sold me something that just won't even clean. So when I clean my top, when I'm done, and let me tell you, it takes about 25 minutes to heat up. So because that's thick, we decided it's solid. It takes about 25 minutes to heat up. It gets over 425 degrees. That's hot, by the way. Really hot. Don't grab it. 425 degree top. This is great for burgers, steaks, your thicker cuts of meat, vegetables. When I'm done, I let it cool off. It takes about 45 minutes to cool down, so it does take a little bit longer than that one. I just scrape it with the spatula, with the brownie removal object, and I stick it in the dishwasher. Everything that we have for Velata is dishwashable. So this, you're not taking out a ton of pots and pans, and this is really, it sounds cheesy, but the other day I was having a really, really bad day. And I do a lot of animal rescue, and I'm going to try not to look at Sharon because I know I'm going to cry on this one. And I had a really bad day, and a stray that I picked up we're having to put down on Monday for behavioral problems, and it's really torn me apart because I had to make that decision. And I sat and cried pretty much all afternoon, wasted the entire day. And it came dinner time and we still have to eat. And I just didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't feel like cooking. I never do. But tonight I really didn't feel like cooking. I didn't feel like deciding what to eat. I didn't know what to eat. My head hurt from crying so hard. And my husband's like, well, what are we going to do for dinner? I didn't want to go out. I looked like trash. And I looked and we had shrimp that I got at the store the day before. I took the shrimp and I think I got it at Kroger. It was like $6. It wasn't, it was like big shrimp. It was on sale. And And I just, at that point, I'm like, just turn on the raclette, we'll figure something out. And I mixed it with some lemon, garlic, a little olive oil in a bowl, and I cooked it on there. And it was the most amazing dinner I've ever had. And I honestly think that lemon garlic shrimp is going to become my new comfort food because it really did make me feel better after a really bad day. But what was more than cooler than anything was I, sat in my self-pity party all afternoon, and I came home and my husband and I sat around the raclette. It's so cheesy looking at this now. It's like such a Hallmark commercial. But, I was able to sit around this with my husband, and we were just cooking dinner, and he's messing with the tongs, and we're talking, and I've got my one cookie going, and I think I ate half of his too. It was a bad day, but it was something that I look back now, and it's a meal I'll never forget for the rest of my life, because at that moment, my husband and I shared time together that without the raclette, without our lemon garlic, it wouldn't have been the same if I just, had him cook it up on the stove. It was like an experience. It was like, if you were laughing, you're evil. I want our raclette back. So it's just something that, when somebody says we're serving up memories, we really are. Good, bad memories, we're serving up memories. But I now look at like that, and I can't wait to have lemon garlic shrimp again because it was really good. It was really simple, and it was really easy for me to say, I'm going to bed, and he's like, I'll do the dishes. I'm like, oh, you need help with the dishwasher? How big of you? So it's just, the raclette has to become part of our almost everyday cooking life. So if you do not have one, I can't encourage you enough of all the products that we have. And this month is our transition month for Velata, so everything's 10% off. It's $126. You still get your PRV on that. You can still use it in this catalog. Season is a half-off item. But make sure you do look into the raclette. Seriously, look into it because it's a lot of fun. Some of the ways that I'm selling this to my customers is afternoon, ladies. So I might call and say, Anna, hey, I know that you've got the kids in school, and let's do an afternoon snack time with some of your girlfriends. Because it's really hard for sometimes these women and friends to get together in the evenings or the weekends, and you've got the kids after school, and you're picking them up from school. Let's get together with the kids, have them, maybe bring 3 or 4 of their friends. They can have a play date, and we'll, play Velata. It is awesome, and it's easy. So we get together. And I didn't even have to work it. The kids did it for them. And then you know what? When it comes in, who's going to be most excited? The kids. So that night when they